Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a holiday makeup tutorial on this look right here. I wanted to do a bright, bold red lip, and I also show you guys a nude option in the video as well. But I thought doing a red lip for the holidays is absolutely perfect, and it just screams holiday Christmas parties. And I really wanted to do a really pretty smoky-ish golden bronzed eye with really nice, beautiful, highlighted and glowing skin, but making sure that the lips were still the focus of this look since it is a holiday look. I don't think I've ever done a holiday look on my channel, and if I have, I'll link it down below, but I'm like 98% sure that this is the first time I've ever done a holiday look, and I absolutely love it. I love the red lipstick. I think it's really pretty. It's actually one of the new YSL skinny ones in the color 01. It was really nice to apply. I didn't feel any tugging, but I wish that I had a red lip liner to kind of really cut in and like shape my lips, but I don't. And I don't want to use like a nude lip liner and mess it all up. But enough rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, leave me your comments down below, and if you want to see how I got this holiday glowy makeup look, then let's go. For starters, in this video, I wanted to go ahead and start with the eyes. I feel like I always start with the eyes, and I feel like it's just the thing to start with. I don't know. I just like starting with the eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eye. For the eye primer, I am going to be taking this NARS Soft Matte Concealer. I feel like concealers work just as well when you're priming your eyes versus a regular eye primer. It's just a base that's going to help the eyeshadows go on smoother and better. Now that the concealer is all blended and tapped out, I'm going to go ahead and set it. I'm just going to take a little bit of my Laura Mercier setting powder. I already tapped it out in a lid, and I'm going to use a fluffy brush to set this off the excess and just put it down. This part doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to make the powder sit, because if it doesn't, you're gonna have some major creasing and skipping problems. The Natasha Denona Gold palette. This palette was sent to me in PR, so I didn't buy it myself, and I've only used this palette 1 or 2 times before now. I've never used it on camera, but it is so pretty. The formula, I know sometimes people are saying like her formula has been kind of hit or miss lately, and some of her palettes aren't up to par with her larger palettes that first originally kind of took off and brought her in to what the hype is now about it. But honestly, this palette is so bomb. The formula in this eyeshadow palette is amazing. I would definitely pay the price that is of this palette if I wasn't sent this in PR. It's beautiful. The shadows are amazing, and it's just a great palette. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the shade Aria. Aria is just a really pretty brown shade. It's a little muted down, but I'm just gonna use this in the crease and use it as a transition shade. The pigment is unreal. Like, I literally tapped the brush in 1 time, and like you guys can see on camera, it's just insane how much pigment her shadows have, but yet they blend like butter and they look super effortless when you do blend them. It's crazy. Like, her eyeshadows are for sure my top eyeshadows I've ever used. I'm just gonna tap this out. Next shade that I'm going to go into is Log. Log is a really dark, deep brown. It is kind of almost to the point where it's like a really rich espresso brown, but I'm going to use this shade and not a black, because I want this shade to really just add depth and dimension to the crease without being a black and turning into like a crazy smoky eye. So I'm just going to take Log, apply it in the crease, and lightly buff and blend. With this shade, I don't want to bring it too far on the lid because I really want to save the lid area for the shimmer shade. So that's why I'm really keeping this focused in the outer V. And same thing on the other side. I'm just lightly packing it into the outer V and slowly tapping it up into the crease to really help add that dimension. And then I'm going to go back in to that blending brush and just kind of tap away and blend log and aria together just to make sure they're blended effortlessly. I swear with Natasha Denona shadows, you barely need to blend and it's almost like the shadow does all of the work for you. You might have lost a little bit of the depth from the log shade when you were doing all that blending. So if you feel like it's necessary, you can of course take that same packing brush and just lightly tap it on, and that will help bring back the depth like I'm doing right here. You barely need any for this though. You don't want to do too much and then have to reblend everything, because that's when eye looks can get looking really muddy, is when you keep blending and then building. That's how I at least find that with my eye shape. If I keep blending and adding product, it looks really muddy really quick, so you want to try to avoid that. So I'm gonna go ahead, tap that all out again like so. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, so now that that is all complete, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the lid space. For the lids, I really want to use the shade Caviar and the shade Sparks. This one right here is the shade Sparks. This is more like a topper, and this is the shade, I know, this is the shade Caviar. It's like a really pretty bronze color. Her shadows, like I said earlier, are super pigmented, so I don't think I'm gonna lay down a base, just because like I feel like if I lay down a base, it's gonna kind of manipulate and change the shade of the shadow. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the shade Caviar and just apply it, and then top off the inner corner and the rest of the eye with the shade Sparks. This shade really reminds me of a topper shade as well. I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but right here on my finger, how my finger skin is peeking through. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting on the actual eyelid, but I can build it up to make it an actual shade. But since I am kind of getting that, I'm also going to go in with Aurum. It's a really pretty gold. Yeah, this one's more of like a opaque, rich shadow, and I'm just going to mix the two on my finger, and it still gives you that really pretty gold color, but I feel like it'll just be, oh yeah, this is way better. I really felt like that first shade Caviar is really just a topper shade. Because like I said, it was kind of pulling through. Oh yeah, this is so pretty. If you don't have this eyeshadow palette. Okay, so I'm just going to be taking that shade Aurum and Caviar, and like I said, I'm just going to be putting them on the eyelid. Now with this part, I don't want to take it too far up into the crease because I do have more of a hooded eye shape, and if I pull it into the crease, it's going to go up, and I really want to keep it low and focused on the lid. Now that those are on, I'm going to be taking the Sparks shade. It's just that really pretty white, almost like translucent glitter, but I'm going to be just spraying a little Fix Plus on my brush to really help the shade pop, and I'm going to keep this more focused towards the inner corner. To the inner corner, this is just kind of like a rough that I'm doing, so I'm not going to be too precise about it, if that makes sense. But now that that's on, I'm going to go ahead and just tap and blend those all together with the same blending brush that I first originally used, and I'm going to go ahead and sweep away fallout. Next, I'm going to be taking primer. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Matte and Poreless Primer. I really do like this primer. It feels super hydrating on the skin, but I feel like it also does a really nice job at kind of erasing my pores, and it really sinks into the skin. Doesn't feel like it sits on the skin or anything like that, so I just really enjoy this. And like I said, it feels really hydrating. Step is totally optional, but I always put on a little Fix Plus once my primer is on. Then I like to just Revolution Conceal. I think it's the 2-in-1 foundation. It is amazing. It's like the best foundation I've tried this year, besides a couple other ones that I always talk about. Or I'm thinking about using this Beauty Blender foundation. I picked this up while I was in New York a couple months ago, and I haven't used it in a while, but I do really love this foundation. When I used it, it felt really, really good. But I think I'm gonna stick with the Makeup Revolution one. I don't know. There's something about this foundation. It's so bomb. Super affordable. You can get it at Ulta. It's just the best foundation I've really honestly tried this year. I'm in the shade F1 and F3. And you guys have seen me do this before. I just dot it all around my skin. You do have to dip into this a couple times though, I've noticed, because the dofa on it doesn't really pick up a whole lot of product. I also really like how this foundation can be either really buildable or full coverage, or you can really sheer it out and make it a lighter weight foundation. And also I feel like even if I over apply this foundation, it doesn't matter because it just looks so good. It gives the skin such a gorgeous look. It is more of a matte finish, which I love about it, and it just sits so good on my skin. I do have combo oily skin, and I just feel like it does a really, really, really good job. And I take it down the neck. It does have a slight fragrance, but nothing that bothers me. We have to do cream contouring. I forgot, since this is a holiday look, I really wanted to go extra. So I'm going to be cream contouring with the KKW Beauty Fair Contour Stick. Mine is literally gone. That's okay. I really like this contour stick. I'm just going to apply it in the normal areas. So I'm going to apply it in the hollows of my cheeks. I'm going to apply it underneath my chin, underneath my jawline, on my forehead, and my nose. The first contour shade I went in with was a little bit more warmer, and I'm going to go in with a little bit more of a cooler, darker shade. Then I'm going to just top out with a damp Beauty Blender. Since the nose area is more smaller and more defined, I want to use a smaller brush to blend it, because if you use a bigger brush, it's just going to blend it everywhere and it's not really contouring. So I'm going to just be using this Sigma P89 brush, and I'm just going to start blending it up. You want to blend your nose contour up because that's how it makes it look smaller versus blending down. And then I just like to pat it all in. I'm not going to worry too much about it looking perfect because we do still have to go in concealer. And that leads me to concealer. I'm going to be using two concealers today. I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define C1 and the KKW number 1. I really like these two concealers. The Makeup Revolution one is pretty much like the sister to the foundation I used. So yeah, I'm gonna just mix this together, and they're both really full coverage and nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Makeup Revolution one and just apply it. Take the KKW Beauty one. This one is lighter, so it's just gonna really help brighten the under eye, and I'm gonna bring it up like that. It's out with that same sponge. That is all blended out. I'm going to be taking the Laura Mercier baking powder or setting powder on a damp beauty sponge and just applying this in all of the places that I literally just put the concealer. I don't do a really heavy amount of baking anymore. I just kind of lightly take a little bit of the powder and tap it, and then I just like press it out through my skin. I love baking. I love the technique of baking. Lately I haven't been really vibing with it. I just kind of feel like setting the under eyes lightly feels and looks a lot better. Sometimes when you can go too heavy-handed with baking, it looks really cakey and really fake and powdery, and I've just been really enjoying more of like a light look under that. I'm going to be doing my lower lash line. The lower lash line is pretty much just going to be mimicking what we did up top, but first, I want to apply some eyeliner. So I'm going to be taking the Marc Jacobs Deja Blue Liner and just applying this on the lower lash waterline. The shade from the gold palette that I'm going to be starting with is that Shame Transition shade, which was Aria. And I'm just picking it up on a smaller, like bullet pencil style Morphe brush. And I'm just going to start blending it out on the lower lash line. Now I'm going to be taking a smaller, like blending brush and blending that Aria shade and buffing it off. Or not buffing it off, but you know, buffing it out. And then I'm going to take an even smaller pencil brush with the Log shade and just blend it into the lower lash line as well. My falsies, and I'll be right back. The falsies that I'm using are the Kiss number 11s. Now that the eyelashes are on, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the bronzer. Today I'm using the Marc Jacobs, what one is this? This is the Tantastic Omega Bronzer. I'm just gonna be applying it with a large fluffy brush. This is like the first time I haven't used my Hourglass bronzer in like ever since I bought it. So yeah, I love the Hourglass bronzer, but I wanted to try something else today, so that's what we do. I'm going to be going in with this LA Girl Just Natural blush and the NARS Orgasm blush. I'm going to go ahead and start with the LA Girl one just because it is a matte blush, but I'm going to go in with the Orgasm one because it adds a little bit of shimmer and it's a little bit more pinky, and like this one says, this one is a natural one. So NARS Orgasm. I'm just going to take this and top off the LA Girl one. That is on. I'm going to go ahead and do highlighter. I'm going to be using this Mary Duminizer liquid, and then I'm going to go ahead and put on a powder on top of it. Blender didn't really work that well. It works better if you just use your finger, so I'm gonna just do that on the other side. I'm gonna get a little more on the wand and then take my finger and then just apply it like this. Okay, well that might have been too much, but that's all right, we'll work with it. Highlighters today, I'm going to be using the Pixi by Petra highlighters in the shade Delicate Dew and Subtle Sunrise. During the summer, these were literally all I used. This first shade here, the more goldy one, and then the more pinky one, I would mix them. These literally are the best highlighters that I've tried in a while. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. They're also really, really great body highlighters. I used them a lot when we were in Las Vegas this summer, and they're just so pretty. Like, they just melt right into the skin and glide, and then give your skin that really wet looking glass look. Like, so pretty. And I'm using the Anastasia A23 brush with this. Like, oh my gosh, they're just awesome. I love them. Now for the lip part. Since this is a holiday look, you of course can do a red lip, and I'll show you that option next. But first, I'm going to do a nude lip. I'm going to be taking the lip liner in the Spice by Rimmel London, outlining my lips with this. And then for the actual nude color, I'm going to be using the KKW Classic K lipstick and topping it off with the Super Nude Gloss.
Mr. Campbell's not here yet. Let me show you to his table.
Looks like with the nude lip. It's really understated and pretty, and it doesn't make a whole lot of noise. The eyes kind of are the main attraction with this look, but it's still not overdone with the eyes. It still looks really pretty and really nice, and this would be great for like a daytime party if you're going to, or if you just don't want a super bold bright lip at an office party or a dinner party or wherever you're going. So this is what it looks like with the nude lip. Lip is off. I'm going to be showing you guys a red lip option. I was going to use this NARS Power Matte Liquid Lip because I love these. They're absolutely amazing. But I'm actually going to be using a YSL lipstick. It's part of their new lipstick, I think their new lipstick line. I'm not 100% sure what that is called, but they look like this. They come in the slimmer packaging. Like I said, they are supposed to be like a lip liner as well, so that's really great. I've never tried these yet, so I'm really excited. The shade, sorry, shade that I'm going to be applying is 01. I haven't worn a red lip in so long, and I'm not mad. I think it looks really pretty. It goes on really smooth and really pretty. Like, it doesn't tug when you do that, and it looks really, really pretty. Like, this red is an absolutely perfect red. Like I said, this is in the shade 01. It looks like with this eye look, this is more like wham bam in your face. You came here to slay, you came. And the lipstick that I used was the YSL one in the shade 01. That is everything for this makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave me your comments down below. And if you're going to a holiday party, I hope you guys liked this makeup look and that you rock it. I really, really love it. I love the way the eyes turned out, and I love this lipstick. I think it looks really, really pretty. The Natasha Denona palette is absolutely amazing. The bronze with the warm browns, it just screams winter and Christmas. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a huge thumbs up, leave me your comments down below. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.